Hey guys, it is Julie here with JT.Wealth. In today's video, I am going to show you guys how I got monetized here on YouTube in just 2 months. So let's get into it. Okay, so today's video is definitely a little bit different than my typical finance related video, but I do get quite a few questions on how I was able to grow my channel so quickly. So I just want to give you guys a behind the scenes on my journey towards monetization since I started this channel. I'm going to break down the dates, the sub counts, the hours watched as we kind of go through the timeline from my very first YouTube video up to Google approving my AdSense and YouTube approving my channel, which is why you probably had to skip through an ad to get this video started. Also, just your reminder to make sure that you hit that like button down below, and please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel if you're new so that you can keep up to date with all of our latest videos. Before we get into all of those numbers and dates though, I do just want to open up about what my experience has been and what I knew about starting a YouTube channel before I started mine and what my expectations were for all of this. I had thought about starting a finance channel for months and months before I had actually taken that first step. When I realized how much time I had wasted during the Rona lockdown there, I finally said enough is enough. I started watching some how-to videos to kind of get an idea of not just how to create videos and a channel, but just what the requirements are for getting monetized. So if you don't know yet, in order to become monetized and become a part of the YouTube Partner Program, there are 2 metrics that you need to hit. So the first is 1,000 subscribers, and the second is 4,000 hours of watch time in 12 months. After that, there's just a couple other steps with the Google AdSense and everything, but we will get into that later. A lot of the creators that I watched who were sharing their journey towards monetization had pretty similar timelines and experiences. Now, obviously, everybody's experience is going to be a little different, and same thing with that timeline. But on average, I was seeing a lot of people talking about 9 to 12 months. So mentally, I really buckled down and prepared myself to put in the work for the next year to hit that goal. But it didn't end up taking quite that long. Now, please know that this is not a video saying like, oh, look at me. I'm actually a little uncomfortable making this video, but I really feel it is important to be transparent and share my journey to hopefully help somebody else who's looking at getting into it. I just want to really help pull the curtain back, so to speak, to help out maybe new creators or people who want to start but just don't know where to start. So again, this is just my journey and my experience, and hopefully some of the information ends up being helpful. So let's look at my exact timeline from my very first YouTube video on June 10th, 2020, all the way up to monetization. After I go over this timeline, I'm going to chat about exactly how I feel I was able to achieve these results and give you my 5 tips to hopefully help speed up your process there too. But first, let's make sure I have a full glass of wine. Okay. So my very first video was on June 10th. I know that 2 months is not a long time, but boy, does that feel like forever ago. So after that June 10th video, I plugged away, and my next big milestone I felt was July 18th. So that was 1 month and about 1 week after. And that is when I hit 500 subscribers. This felt really exciting because I was now halfway to that 1,000 subscriber requirement. And then just 6 days later, on July 24th, I doubled that and hit that 1,000 subscriber mark with just 20 videos out. And then began the climb for those watch hours. So I had hit 1,000 subs, but my watch hours were not close to 4,000 yet. So on August 3rd, I'd actually gotten up to 2,000 subscribers, but my watch hours were still at 2,400. Then 1 week later, on August 10th, I finally broke that 4,000 watch hours. We were now at 3,300 subs. Now this was exciting too, because this was exactly 2 months after my very first video back in June. Now, if you don't know, on YouTube Studio, there is a monetization screen that shows you those metrics you need to hit and how close you are to hitting them. So here is a screenshot of that. Now, this monetization page is 1 day behind in its metrics. So I had seen that I broke the 4,000 hours on August 10th and then had to wait for the morning of August 11th for both the subs and hours to have that green check mark and be able to officially apply for monetization. Once you do this, it is a 3-step process. So first, you just have to agree to the YouTube Partner Program rules. Once that's done, it'll have you apply for a Google AdSense account. So this is how they put the ads on your videos and how you get paid. You go to their site, you fill out this information and submit it. Once that is done, you then have to wait for that AdSense approval. So for me, I applied for the AdSense account at 7 a.m. I was a little eager, and I was approved by noon. So once that is approved, YouTube will then automatically start reviewing your channel for approval to be added to their partner program. So like I said, that YouTube review automatically started, let's say about noon, and I received approval back by 11:20 p.m. that night. So in 1 day, I was able to apply for, get approval, and apply monetization to all of my videos. So that was much faster than I anticipated, but I could say that about this whole thing. I had seen some people's videos where they were saying it take days, weeks, even months sometimes to get that approval. Whatever the case, YouTube was on it, so no complaints from me. Okay, so now that you've seen my timeline there and how that process played out for me, let's chat about why I think I was able to achieve that in 2 months. A really important one is research. Get on YouTube, watch other creators who are sharing tips on their process and all of their advice. For me, some of the best advice came from Think Media, Peter McKinnon, and Catherine Manning. So please go check them out. Their links will be down in the description below. I could spend hours going back and forth watching their videos, so you won't regret it. They gave some really great insight on different topics, from thumbnails to titles and search engine optimization and keywords, but most importantly on providing value to your viewers. This journey requires you to put effort into everything from the name of your channel to each video title to all of those keywords that you're putting in the description, and getting all of that together can sometimes take as much, if not more time and effort than the actual content you're creating. Okay, so let's get into my top 5 tips. Now, these are definitely tips that I pulled from those sites that I previously mentioned, but they're definitely the ones I found to be the most beneficial and useful on my YouTube journey. The number 1 tip I can give you is just start now. Start before you feel ready. Just do it. Trust me, I did not feel ready for my first video, and it has been a steep learning curve since, but the most important thing is just getting your toe in that water. Number 2 is find a niche that doesn't just entertain others, but is of interest to you. This is your channel, so if you are going to be speaking about something every single week, you need to make sure it is something that you actually care about. Viewers are going to be able to tell if you're not genuine, and you need to keep that steam so it's something you want to continue talking about. Number 3 is optimizing your thumbnails, your titles, your keywords, all for that search engine optimization. You can make the best video in the world, but if no one is being directed to it or can find it, it doesn't matter. So those are not an afterthought. Make sure you spend time on them. Number 4 is trying to provide value in a unique way. So once you've found your niche, how are you going to benefit that space and those viewers? Your content is important, but so is your delivery and how you're able to connect with those viewers. And number 5 is find that support network of creators. This is so important as there's a whole community out there of people who know this journey and have a lot of valuable insight and knowledge into it. I've had people reach out to me. I've certainly reached out to a lot of people in the community, and I've always found it to be very warm, open arms, super supportive and knowledgeable. So that is my journey, guys. I truly cannot wait to continue growing and learning and just applying all these different techniques to improve my content for you all. So after you watch this, please make sure to leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you and where you're at on this journey. Have you started a YouTube channel already that you're trying to grow? Are you maybe just thinking about getting into one? If that is the case, then I just have one piece of advice for you, and that is do your research and get started right now, today. I know that you have something valuable to share with the world, so let's get it out there. Again, go check out those pages that I recommended. Make sure that you give us a like and hit subscribe. That is how this channel got here, through all of you amazing viewers. Thank you all so much. Honestly, I love doing this and I'm really excited to continue this journey. So have an awesome day and cheers.